Good morning, guys. In this video I'm going to talk about slab building and how to construct the actual slab. So there's a few things that you're going to need to pay attention to. You're going to need to know how to stretch your clay properly. You're going to need to know how to bevel the edges. You're going to use a stencil to cut out all of your squares for your slab box. And then we'll talk about the carving process. So those are a few things that we're going to go over in this video. Alright, what you guys are going to need is stencils that I will have for you. So you're going to need a side, a foot, and this the additional wall. So this is going to be where you're going to put your actual tiki design on. The other tools that you're going to need a ruler with inches, and you're also going to need an X-Acto knife, which I will provide for you, and you'll check them out from me. Before you guys actually start this process, you have already rolled out your slab, and I've done that, so then we'll get started. I forgot to mention, but you'll want a rib and a sponge, so essential ceramic tools. What we're going to do after we roll out our slab, we're going to now check it for air pockets. We're just going to take our rib and we're going to go over the top. If you have an air pocket, you'll see it because it'll move around. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, picking it up with two hands at the end so gravity doesn't take over and split my slab in half. Once I've checked my slab for air pockets, now I'm going to use my stencils and I'm going to cut out the appropriate number of walls. So for this one I'm going to need 2, and it's written right on the stencil for you. I'm going to need 2 side walls, and I'm going to need only 1 foot because we're going to leave the top open. You want to try to put these on here in a way that you can get the most bang for your buck. If you run out of clay, run out of room after you've cut out the walls at the end, you'll re-wedge your clay, roll out a new slab, and then continue the process. Now that I have all my walls cut out, I'm gonna bevel the edges. So I'm gonna bevel 1/4, or an angled edge is what I'm doing. I just call it a beveled edge. I'm gonna measure 1/4 from the side back on every single side of every single slab. That is super important. Able to get your walls to stay together. Now, a true angle for slab would be to measure the thickness of your slab, and that's your measurement for your angle. However, I have found that 1/4 of an inch leaves you a little bit of room for error. So that's why we're going to use 1/4. So I'm going to use a pencil to mark 1/4. I'm going to line my ruler up. Take my X-Acto knife. I'm going to take the tip of the X-Acto knife, I'm going to line it up to the corner of my slab. It's a little hard to see at this angle. And I'm going to pull back so the blade is sitting against my ruler. I'm going to press down on my ruler. Make sure your fingers are not up here. Make sure they're behind your blade. Keep the tip of your X-Acto knife at the edge, the bottom edge of your slab. And when you're done, you should have an angled edge just like this. You're going to do this to every single side of every single slab. Reminder, you guys, make sure that you always keep your slabs really covered up because they will dry really fast. Though you want them at the leather hard stage, they will dry gradually over time. But even with that in mind, keep them under plastic because of the block scheduling. We never know when you'll be back in class. We don't want them to get too dry or else you won't be able to build with them. Also, make sure you check for air pockets with that rib tool and wedge your clay really well when you need to make an additional slab. Make sure you use a stencil with a ruler. Do not just try to trace around the stencil without a ruler because the paper will fold up on you. So I can't wait to see your tiki boxes. I know they're going to be awesome.